what a midlife crisis looks like. My midlife crisis, or yours. I want to cover this. What is a midlife crisis exactly? And I think, in my opinion, in my experience, a midlife crisis is exactly this. When you change in midlife, all of a sudden, you change. What's important to you is changed. What you think about has changed. What you want changes. How you feel changes. Everything changes. And you are now a new person, a completely different person. This would be the reason why when people hit a midlife crisis, they begin to do things that are out of character. Because it's out of character for who they were before they hit their midlife crisis. However, it is not out of character for who they are now once they've gotten into their midlife crisis. Does that make sense? Because to me, when you hit a midlife crisis, you change. Who you are changes. And it's scary when all of a sudden you don't know this mind that you're in or this mind that's in you. It's scary. And it's sad because the things that once gave you pleasure no longer do. The things that once were important to you no longer are. And then you begin to question, what the heck is going on here? And feelings of guilt come in because you don't feel like you used to, because the things that were once important to you are no longer important, and you go through guilt, especially if one of the things that were once important to you is your spouse, and now the spouse is no longer important to you. I could just imagine the guilt that you feel, like, I'm not supposed to feel this way, this is my spouse, and I'm supposed to love my spouse, and they're supposed to be important to me. So who you are changes because the things that are important to you change. What was once important to you is no longer important to you anymore. And you might not even know in the beginning what is important to you now. I know for myself, I really didn't know what was now important to me once I changed. And that change was sudden. I know what some things are. I know some things that are important to me now, and that's only because I've been on this journey for, what, a year and a half? I've been on this midlife crisis journey for about a year and a half, and that's the only reason why I have a clue about anything that is important to me. And maybe there's not a whole lot that's important to me, but there are some things. And I feel like I've accomplished something here, because at first the only things that were important to me was my kids and surviving, because I felt like I was going to die if I didn't make some major changes. I felt like I was going to wither away, like I was going to suffocate and die if I didn't leave. I had to go. And that was very sad because I didn't want to leave my kids. And I was feeling guilt for leaving my kids, although my kids were all grown up and out on their own. For myself, I had forgotten about what my dreams and ambitions were until shortly after I hit my midlife crisis. But then I had to evaluate, do I still have the same dreams and ambitions? I can say at this point, dreams and ambitions that I have I have a couple of them that are the same as they were when I was younger, and no, I have not aspired to them yet. But most of them are different from when I was younger, and different from that, 20, 30 years in between, I guess, becoming an adult and hitting my midlife crisis. Many of us become kind of obsessed with these body changes. The fact that I now wear glasses and I didn't ever used to. I always had 20/20 vision. That was distressing for me. The loosening of skin, finding these lines on my face, the gray hair, So these body changes that signify aging, you know, it's kind of like, I'm not young anymore, time is running out. That's kind of what goes through my mind. And you know, how long is it going to be before I'm actually old? I feel like it's not going to take long before I'm actually old. And being in a midlife crisis, I tend to sometimes obsess about these things. And I don't think I'm the only one. I think it's pretty common. It could start with external things that are changing the way you feel on the inside. But I think we get to a place where we're like, what is this shit? I don't want to put up with this crap anymore. So midlife crisis is when a person changes, when who they are changes suddenly during midlife. That's a midlife crisis, I think. Okay, so that's it for this video. Go ahead and pop something in the comment section below. Love to hear from you. Share, please do share your thoughts or your experiences, your ideas, whatever, because there are so many people who need that. They need to know that there's a lot of people that experience this and that what they're going through is real. So put something in the comment section. Click like the video, share the video, especially if you know people who aren't altogether sure about midlife crisis. Share it with them. Or if you're having a midlife crisis and all your people think you just lost your marbles, share it with all of them. Click subscribe. Follow me along on this midlife crisis journey. Let's see if I survive.